When's it going to stop? Locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to sing.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a...
Million solved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base. That guy there will lead us up.
I'm steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body, partner. Get used to seeing them. They're the gig when you're working homicide, Phelps.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F136. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Junk.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help.
Great. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole? No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand? Gently.
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress. Is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought. Get out of the way!
Nobody cares about me. I took a
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. Do you know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here. We should follow the lead. These guys can wait. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff. Take the next left. Okay, so go left at the next one. I need you to take a left at the next corner.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's
that...
procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide.
Any ideas? For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that? Without a...
You went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
So when I call this Bobby Ross character and he tells me you're lying...
Look, what do I have to do to convince you that I stayed at the party? I want to find who did this. I want to help.
Mr. Tarleton, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
I think you're in an unhappy marriage, Lars. I think you're lying, and you would like to get it off your chest.
You telling me my wife was unhappy? What proof do you have of that? Why aren't you out there trying to catch the person who did this?
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that? I came back here and went to bed. Why is that so hard to believe?
If Bobby Ross doesn't confirm your story, we are going to come back here and pick you up. This doesn't look good, Lars.
Want to hear something funny, Terrelson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules a man as a suspect.
Appreciate your time, sir. Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks, ma'am. Need to check if she was a regular.
I wonder why the picture was turned down. Seems irrelevant. Maybe if... No.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
Doesn't look like anything.
Go away unless you can bring my mommy home. I want to go find mommy now.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. You can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. Lars was out in the rain last night.
Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
Please, can I have some time to explain to my daughters?
What do you think?
Search the place. We need something on this guy. Something that'll stick.
Doesn't give me anything to go on.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
I can't believe Teresa's dead.
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. You know, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
That broad has socks in it, Brazil.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
You've never served him?
Not a chance. By the sound of it, he's the type of bum you send packing right when he walks through the door.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
Any of your regulars know the broad?
Ask him yourself.
LAPD, keep your seats, boys. This won't take a second. We can't let the son of a bitch get away.
Boy, let's take it through better days.
Go, Phelps, get after it. Come on, we got a ride. Get in and drive.
No time to wait, Rusty.
God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Mercy!
I'll try to shoot out his tire. Wish me luck.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out.
Let's end this farce. Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you. Maybe you shouldn't have waited for me, Phelps.
Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires. God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
He's showing you how it's done.
I'll try to shoot out his tire. Wish me luck.
Let's end this farce.
All right, you got me.
Put your hands in the air! Name.
Richard Bates. What is it you want?
I'll ask the questions. Firstly, why did you run?
I don't mix with cops if I can help it.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead, and your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
You sure you and the sailor didn't take her somewhere and things got out of hand?
Even cops need evidence. You got nothing on me that links me to that woman. Hate to say I told you so. Are we done?
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
I don't like it when you lie to me, Richard. You have the stink of the yardbird about you. What were you in for?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You got anything that says I done time? You boys should run along. You got a killer to catch. Remember?
You're coming in with us, Bates.
But I'm not your guy. What exactly am I being run in for?
You have a record, you ran from us, and there's the fact that I don't like you. That's 3 strikes in my book.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an APB out on a yellow. Are there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thank you.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another commendation?
Car 11K, we have a response on your APB regarding yellow cab number 3591. The vehicle has been identified at a gas station. Now heading west on 7th Street.
Garage on 7th Street. Let's hit it, Phelps. The cab driver might tie this whole thing together. So wait for the next turning and go right.
I hope you're right.
Yellow cab number 3591, sighted at the corner of Wilshire and Whitmer. Repeat, Wilshire and Whitmer, 11K.
Where's that cab got you now?
Further on your APB on yellow cab number 3591. Vehicle identified at Reggie's Cafe, heading north on Whitmer. KGPL clear. Continue the response. Car 11K, your suspect vehicle, yellow cab 3591, sighted at 6th and Valencia.
You see our taxi anywhere?
Five charges en route to 496 Broadway. Do you have another assignment here, Central? Car 11K, yellow cab 3591, was just seen leaving Dewey's Car Sales, driving north on Union Drive. KGPL.
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It was a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gone and ruined my day.
I've seen people like you, but I had to pay admission.
I'm stumped. Ideas?
Why aren't we back at the house giving the husband hell? Got behind this, always high on mine.
He's in interview 2.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrelson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
And you started talking.
She looked good in her green dress. Up close, she was a little older than I thought, but like I said, I only had a 24-hour pass.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrelson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
So you were defending Mrs. Terrelson's honor?
Yeah, something like that.
If your story doesn't check out, Jessup, we're hanging you out to dry. Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the Beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
Three suspects in the can and one on the hook. Still no hard evidence on any of them.
KGPL to car 11K. 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Plenty of time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, do we have Lars Terrelson picked up?
11K, roger.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay focused. You need to hold out to the cavalry line.
How do we do that?
Like this. Buckshot, keep him down, Bell.
If you want
With him, Bell.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it, see what you find.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack.
Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer. Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin.
Continue to reach sampling.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin. Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer. husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same shtick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is confession. We can charge the bunch. We're going this way.
Swipe at me. Put him down with my sap. Why don't you go polish your war medal and leave me alone?
Help me out.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off.
I don't have time for your song and dance right now.
So what next?
Come on. If Ackerman won't play ball, I'll rattle his teeth until he does.
Whoa, if someone reports this...
I can't believe Teresa's dead.
No good to me. don't think so. It doesn't appear to be connected.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Central is our last stop. The evidence is airtight. We work through the interview, and the hobo eats gas.
Please, can I have some time to explain to my daughters?
like a decent guy. Keep talking. Someday you'll say something intelligent.
Only if I guarantee he walks.
The heck?
The women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
Olives. Where does baby oil come from?
The only reason some people get lost in thought is because it's unfinished. She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
I survived the war for this?
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
Say, could I borrow some of that mascara?
What now?
Come on. If Ackerman won't play ball, I'll rattle his teeth until he does.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Find the goddamn evidence.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again. Why don't you go polish your war medal and leave me alone?
I'm going to memorize your name and throw my head away.
He has a rather pungent reek about him. Get in there and liberate a confession from him.
Come on. If Ackerman won't play ball, I'll rattle his teeth until he does.
To your work, detective. With Godspeed.
You know you've made it if you got that desk.
I want to make homicide. You know you've made it.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead? This guy's got a screw loose.
Advice?
Come on. If Ackerman won't play ball...
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrelson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
Are you denying that you strangled Mrs. Tarleton with a length of rope?
I'm not denying anything. The system has crippled and blinded you, and you haven't even noticed.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Tarleton near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
Tell us that you killed Mrs. Tarleton, Ackerman. It's your only chance for help.
Why would anyone help me?
We might not have enough to charge you right now, Ackerman. Until then, you can cool your heels in a cell.
Just for once, I would like to be able to send my girls to school of a morning and not have to worry about what might befall them on the streets of this fair city. You two are doing nothing to allay a father's fears. Unsolved homicides weigh heavily on this department, young Phelps. Your latest case is an embarrassment to me and your colleagues. A stint in blues rounding up pond life should renew your vigor. Apprehend anyone and everyone you find flouting the law. At the double now!
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Tarleton?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
Are you denying that you strangled Mrs. Tarleton with a length of rope?
I'm not denying anything. You have to have proof, lackey.
We found a matching piece of rope in your lean-to. I think we'll find the blood will match too.
I own no property. How could it belong to me?
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Tarleton near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You're lying, Ackerman. There must be a reason. You could have killed her in the camp.
My reasons are my own. Can you disprove what I say? You do your worst. You're the willing tool of a despotic state designed to victimize the unfortunate.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Tarleton.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Threes of Tarleton will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. and the grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
And now my heart's a blazing ruin. You say that you were only fooling. Don't walk away. Don't do me wrong. Don't leave me singing this torched song when I'm burning.
Of course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Another body in Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
When exactly did you get that